Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is Station. I'm ready for the event.
European Space Agency and participants, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call Station for a voice check.
This is ESA calling Station. Are you ready for the call?
ESA, this is Station. I'm ready for the event. Welcome aboard the International Space Station.
So hello, Samantha. Very nice to see you. We just met about a month ago when you were launched into space, one day after your birthday, which was a very special moment. Very happy to see you up there. You look very good and in very good shape, and I see you all smiles. I'm calling here from Davos, from the World Economic Forum, and this is a very special event down here on Earth, but you will tell us in a minute how it is up there in space. So I'm handing over to Andrew. Andrew is the moderator of this session, and he will now moderate this part.
Hi, Samantha. It's great to see you. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm going to give it a little bit of time between questions. We've been having a conversation down here on Earth about actually a lot of the things that are happening on Earth as it happens. And I wanted to understand from your perspective, in terms of your space exploration and your own research, how important the future cooperation is between Russia and all of the various, what we might describe as space economies are right now.
Yes, hello. Well, first of all, I'm very happy to be here to hear the voice of our Director General, and I'm very happy about this conversation we're about to have with you, Andrew. And to answer your question, well, the short answer is it's quite important, I would say. I think that the International Space Station, where I have the pleasure and the privilege of being right now, is a testament to international cooperation, and certainly Russia is an important partner in this endeavor. But just in, and the space station, just to clarify, is really an integrated facility where components provided by different countries and different agencies are integrated together and really can function only as a whole, and that include the Russian segment, the USS segment, and also this piece of Europe up here in space, which is the Columbus Laboratory. But in general, space exploration is indeed, I think, an area of human endeavors in which international cooperation has proven key to achieve success, and the ISS is really a testament to that.
Maybe this is going to be a personal question, but there are Russian cosmonauts on board with you. How is it working with them? Do you discuss what's happening in Ukraine and what's happening on the ground?
I think that on a personal level, we are all saddened and devastated by the events ongoing and the current conflict, and that's a fact. But at the same time, in terms of our relationships here on board, I think what prevails and informs our relations and our work together on a daily basis is, on a personal level, our personal friendship to our colleagues whom we have known for quite a long time, and on a professional level, our common commitment to the success of the mission and to continuing all the amazing work of science and technological advancement that we perform on a daily basis here on the International Space Station, which again is a product of integrated work of many international partners.
I was going to ask you, given the challenges that we're clearly facing about inequality and climate change, and we talked about that a little bit down here before we got to you, can you tell everybody about the purpose of your mission and how you would tell everybody on Earth how you think it's going to ultimately help resolve some of these issues?
Yeah, I think that global big challenges like obviously climate change and inequality are best faced when societies have at their disposals powerful tools, and those tools are knowledge, technologies, and general, strong economies. And so I think that there's two ways of answering your questions. I mean, of course, I could go off and tell you about all the space-based assets that monitor the Earth on a daily basis. And some of those are free-flying satellites, but some of those are here installed on the external platforms of the International Space Station because they benefit from the fact that they have this platform and all the power that is available and, the data transfer. And that it was possible to install them here. So I could go off and tell you that, but I think that one should also have a more holistic perspective and understand that space is really part of our lives, of our technological development, of our scientific advancements, ultimately of our economic resources and the technological and scientific resources that we overall have at our disposal to tackle challenges, especially like climate change. So as we develop space capabilities and the space economy, that becomes a multiplier of all the technological tools that we have at our disposals to tackle climate change and all the great challenges that face humanity.
When do you think, we are in this new era of space exploration, and there are billions of dollars pouring into it from the private sector. What do you think of that, and what do you think of what the private companies can and will do up there?
Yeah, I think that is a very exciting and positive development. I think that a cooperation between the private and the public sector is going to bring us a lot of benefits. I think that the private sector, when it comes in, it probably brings an agility, an ability to innovate, competition, the power of the market economy when it's brought upon the space business is bound to be partially disrupt it, but certainly help develop it, make it more resilient, make it more affordable from an economic point of view, so that again, as I mentioned earlier, all these space capabilities can really be leveraged from many diverse industrial, societal, economic sectors. And space is not this thing out there doing things on its own, but it's integrated in the web of society and economy. So this is, I think, the benefit that bringing in a lot of commercial actors will bring. As I mentioned earlier, I'm here in Columbus, the European Laboratory on Board. Externally to Columbus, we have an external platform, which is an example of this public-private partnership, which is Columbus. In the rack right next to me, there is another example, which is the IceCube's research facilities. So, also in Europe, there is, some of that private-public partnership already ongoing, and we're certainly striving to get that more and more.
I want to turn the interview personal for a second. This is your second time up there. I've never, by the way, interviewed an astronaut in space before. So I want to know what it's been like. And what's it like the second time? There's always conversations here about coming to Davos your first time and what it's like the second time. What's it like the second time up there? Is it different? Did you bring different things with you? Are you getting better sleep? What is it? Just tell us about what the experience is like.
The second time is very different. Not worse or better, but different. I would say that the first time I came to space station as a rookie, it was quite overwhelming. All the way from launch, it was this influx of new experiences, new physical sensations, new skills that I had to learn. Like floating in zero-G and handling this rather complex environment of space station and handling the work up there or up here. And I think. If I looked back at those, especially those first days and weeks, it was all a little bit of a blur. I didn't have very clear memories. And so I was really looking forward to come up here a second time as a veteran astronaut this time and have a little bit more of both cognitive and emotional buffer to experience this a little bit more in slow motion. And it's definitely been the case. I mean, I didn't have to learn everything from scratch. It came back to me fairly quickly, like riding a bicycle, I guess. And so I had that space in my heart and in my mind to observe the experience and really take note of details and hopefully also remember it better for the future.
What's the most exciting thing you're working on up there right now?
Well, this weekend we had quite an exciting event. We actually had a brand new a space vehicle. It's called Starliner. So the prototype, the demonstration flight occurred this weekend. So the vehicle came knocking at our door in the night between Friday and Saturday, I believe. And we had a pretty intense, short docked mission in which it demonstrated a number of capabilities. And then we closed the hatch last night, and it will undock. And of course, we are all confident that we will safely land to Earth shortly after that. Yeah, other than that, I mean, there's always a lot of science on board. It's always difficult to pick a favorite, but I will let just proximity choose for me, like what you maybe can glance here in the camera that I'm not supposed to touch, but I set up yesterday is a facility to demonstrate tele-robotic operations. So once we are ready to do the demonstration operations, I will actually use this, it's like a haptic controller, so I will hold it in my hand and kind of move my hand, but actually on the ground, I will be moving remotely the hand of a robot to perform tasks remotely. So that's pretty exciting. That's stuff that is going to be useful for future surface explorations of Moon and hopefully one day of Mars.
And I don't know if this audience knows this, and this is so cool, I think. She has been a great champion of women and space engineers, and Mattel, the toy maker, has made and commissioned a Barbie doll of Samantha. And I just thought maybe you could tell us about that, how it came about. I don't know if you have one up there with you, but it sounds like a fact. How did that happen?
Yeah, they have this campaign, which I believe is like the Dream Gap campaign, and the idea is to provide young girls, really, you know, especially starting at a young age, like preschool age, with role models, so that, you know, they keep dreaming big. They do not start to think already like in preschool age that some professions are maybe not suitable for them, some career paths, some some disciplines that they can study in college, for example, are not suited for them. Yeah, that's what we want to prevent. You know, when I encourage women to consider STEM careers or consider working in the space sector, I don't necessarily have an end state in mind, because I mean it depends in the end on individual choices and individual freedom, which for me is sacred. But what I hope to help accomplish is that, you know, young, girls and women feel that freedom. They make those choices knowing that they are free to choose from, the full palette of human enterprises.
Samantha, you're an inspiration. I'm super grateful to have this conversation with you. We want to thank you for joining the World Economic Forum in Davos from space, and we want to thank you. I hope we get to do this again and talk to you very, very soon. Maybe we'll call into a Zoom together at some point. What time is it there for you? Do you have to go to bed? I don't know if it's the morning or night.
It's about 10 to 3, so we should just be a couple of hours behind. So it's been such a pleasure talking to you, Andrew, and to you, DG, and to everybody in Davos. I thank you for your interest and for visiting me up here on the International Space Station. Bye.
Great. Thank you so much.
Station, this is Houston ACR. Thank you. That concludes our event.
Thank you to all participants from ESA. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.